looks, no brains. Police? Oh, changez mon discours au musée, s'il vous plaît.
Oui.
But for really smart, check out this Palm handheld from CompUSA. It manages your calendar, gets email. Oh, here's one. The Fed needs me to lecture on our monetary system. Again?
CompUSA, where America buys technology. Buy select Palm handhelds at CompUSA and get a 16 meg expansion card free.
It's us versus them. Them are skimpy toppings. Us is Pizza Hut. We load them on our new Ultimate Pepperoni Lovers Pizza. 2 layers of pepperoni, and now with 6 kinds of cheese, just $8.99. $8.99. The new Ultimate Pepperoni Lovers Pizza. Only at us, Pizza Hut.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals?
Go! Go!
No.
Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. Man, that is awesome. Get Selsun Power.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Pizza Hut, where every week this fall you can get one of our pizzas for an unbelievable price. And by Panasonic Sonic Shaving Max, the world's fastest shaver, wet or dry.
Greg Gumbel and Phil Simms with the Jets and Steelers later today, and Phil has some thoughts about the 3-4 defense. He thinks more teams should use it. Find out why. Log on to NFL.com. Go to NFL.com or America Online, keyword NFL.com. First down, San Diego tied at 7, middle of this opening quarter. And the give goes inside to LaDainian Tomlinson. It's 7-all here in Philadelphia. Jim Nantz, what do you have for us?
Well, it's Heisman weekend, as you know, Dick. In fact, Paul Hornung's in the studio right now watching the games with us. And we just saw Eddie George, a Heisman winner himself, take it 13 yards to give the Titans the lead at Minnesota. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
All right, thank you, Jim. The Golden Boy there in New York at CBS.
One of the all-time good guys.
He didn't have enough fun in his life, did he? Flutie off play action and then throws back complete to Tim Dwight. He's got a blocker at the 40. Plenty of speed, and Dwight all the way to the Philadelphia 45-yard line before Brian Dawkins can bump him out of bounds. That was well set up.
Boy, it certainly was. It certainly was well set up, because you want to get it to the guy with the speed. Let's go ahead and roll this thing, and you're going to get a good look. It looks, the good fake to the right-hand side, and then Dwight just floats away after holding up his blocker a little bit. But from here, all he needs is one block, and then he outruns 3 different Eagles and is corralled at the sideline by the 4th. But he was past the 3 Eagles, who even had good angles on him.
They spot him out of bounds at the 47. They go back to almost the same play. This time to Tomlinson instead of Dwight, and he has about 9 yards inside the 40 of the Eagles before Hollis Thomas can chase him down from behind along with Carlos Emmons.
Well, a couple of play callers in this game who love the screen. Of course, Andy Reid calls the plays for the Eagles, but Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator for San Diego, exactly the same way. It's a big part of this offense. It's a big part of this offense, running screens and the timing. And there's Norv Turner right there, the former head coach of the Washington Redskins and coordinator in Dallas for so many years, and one of the game's really good coaches.
Short yardage for Flutie, and he's going to go long for Conway. Almost deflected into Conway's hands by Troy Vincent, and Vincent has already been burned on that sensational play by Graham. Nearly deflected that one to Conway.
Well, the difference between the two is that time Troy Vincent was looking back and saw the football. I think he said, I'm not going to allow one to bounce off my back. Troy times his leap. Looks like he went up maybe just a smidge early to get that ball. He's on his way back down when the ball actually makes contact with his hands. But well played by Troy Vincent.
Flutie having trouble getting the call in, so he calls time. It's 3rd and 1 when we return to Philadelphia.
I am Sonic Man. And I'm out to prove what a smooth, clean shave you'll get with the Panasonic Sonic Shaving Max. Dry, or wet, or wet, or wet. The world's fastest shaver. 13,000 RPM. And this is the one, baby. Smooth. And easy to rinse.
The Canon Rebel 2000.
When circumstances change, just turn the dial, and you'll turn a snapshot into a photograph. What the? So now you know how to stay in control.
Do you mind? Thank you.
The Rebel 2000 from Canon.
Space camp for your daughter, $0. Grand Prix lessons for your dad, $0. A celebrity chef for your sister, $0. Giving them something that wasn't on their list, priceless. Use your MasterCard and you could win 5 priceless gifts, including an African safari. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
When Professor Max Bickford asked his daughter to rewrite the school song, he won't believe what he hears.
Whoa!
An all-new Max Bickford, CBS Tonight.
Tied at 7 with just under 6 minutes left in the opening quarter here at the Vet. And the Eagles, with the #1 pass defense in the league, have seen the Chargers rack up 115 yards early. 61 on the touchdown to Graham. A couple of successful screens. It's 3rd and 1 at the 38. Tomlinson hit the backfield, fumbles the ball, and this is Brian Dawkins chased by Tomlinson, and Dawkins has a touchdown. Brian Dawkins, a Pro Bowler a year ago, as Tomlinson, and this has been the Achilles of the Chargers all season. 3rd and 1, can't make the first down. They wind up fumbling it, and the Eagles get a touchdown.
And I think Tomlinson was dropping the ball before Dawkins got there. I don't think it was a hit that knocked it out. We'll take a close look at it, but it looked to me like LaDainian Tomlinson never put the ball away. And then it just one-hopped right up to Brian Dawkins.
Akers with the extra point, and the Eagles take a 14-7 lead on a 49-yard return by Brian Dawkins. A year ago, he had 4 interceptions and 6 forced fumbles. Got a couple of touchdowns defensively in his career.
Well, Doug Flutie makes a good pitch right into the hands of Tomlinson, and right, he boots the, looked like, did it hit his knee? It looked like he kicked the ball out, and then look at the bounce as it hops up right to Brian Dawkins. And LaDainian Tomlinson, without ever being touched by a Philadelphia player, surrenders the football, and a great hop right to Brian Dawkins. Yeah, this will really, does he hit it with his knee? Yes, his left knee, his left leg. He was carrying the ball very low, and his left knee or thigh hit the football and knocked it right out of his hands. Boy, don't you start to see these kind of plays in December, Dick, where the teams that are losing seem to have bad breaks, although they certainly got a great break on the touchdown to Jeff Graham. But Mike Riley has been seeing this for the last 6 weeks. First 7, that's how you win. You're in plus territory, and that's how you lose. You turn it over.
They're 5-2 in those first 7 games when they had that advantage in the turnover table. Ronnie Jenkins waits, and Akers sends a spinner toward the sideline. It's going to go out of bounds. A wind forcing that one wide as he hooked it out of play, and the Chargers will get good field position as they'll come up and mark the ball at the 40-yard line.
That's one of the biggest penalties in sports, when you kick it out of bounds on a kickoff, because it comes all the way to the 40-yard line. Very few kickoff returns make it to the 40-yard line. That is very punitive when you boot it, when you kick it out of bounds.
In fact, the Chargers have the best record in the league, 32-yard line, their start after a kickoff.
Hey, thanks for backing me up there.
Right. +8 on that. Don't miss an amazing Thursday on CBS, beginning with an all-new Survivor, and only 8 tribe members left. Stay tuned on Thursday night on CBS. The throw is an intercepted trap by Troy Vincent.
Well, they was trying to go to Curtis Conway, and Curtis was on the ground. You know, Doug Flutie's throwing to a point. Unfortunately, his receiver was flat on the ground. Curtis complaining that he was knocked to the ground.
Here's Freddie Jones as Vincent sees that ball coming and the short hops.
Yeah, Freddie Jones was not the intended receiver on that play. Curtis Conway was the intended receiver. We couldn't see it in that shot, him falling down.
2nd and 10, 14-7 Eagles, and a very unusual scoring parade in this first quarter. Tomlinson, something to prove now, and the rookie breaks a tackle, runs over the umpire, and has a first down at the Eagle 48-yard line. And you can see from that reaction, mad at himself for that fumble that cost San Diego a score.
Well, he's going to have to put together an awful lot of good runs. He found some really good blocking, and then it's all cutback. It's all natural ability now. But right there, he runs into an Eagle, runs into one of his own guys, Curtis Conway, caroms off an official. See, this is why he's the 5th pick in the draft. You can't coach that, you can't teach it, you can't talk about it, you can't do anything except draft the guy who has those God-given abilities.
On first down, Flutie to the sidelines, and it's caught by Jeff Graham, and Graham appears to have another first down at the Philadelphia 38-yard line. Bobby Taylor on the coverage.
Well, the Chargers are coming out and filling the air with footballs without any respect to this league's leading pass defense. Windy conditions on the road, losers of 5 in a row, and all of a sudden the Bolts here are coming out looking like the Rams, throwing the ball all over the field.
Tomlinson is sent out wide left, empty backfield, and McCrary to the right is an unusual formation. And Flutie then throws underneath, incomplete. Freddie Jones, the tight end, was the closest Charger receiver. Here's Jones, who has been plagued by a bad ankle most of the season. Last year, 71 catches to lead the team, only 23 this year. They've missed his contribution.
Well, and a surprise to everyone, their play breakdown to this point, Dick, 12 passes against 6 runs for San Diego so far here in the first quarter. So Norv Turner throwing a pretty sizable curveball at the Philadelphia Eagles right now. The big hook.
Again, empty backfield, and the throw to Tomlinson. That didn't fool Philadelphia at all. And there to smother the play was Ike Reese. Reese saw it coming, or was it Caldwell? Mike Caldwell was able to read it and hit Tomlinson before he could take a step.
No chance whatsoever for LaDainian Tomlinson. A little variation of the old bubble screen, trying to get a couple blockers immediately out in front. No go.
A loss of 4, 3rd and 14. Tomlinson out, and Pharrell Fletcher, the veteran from Wisconsin, in. That loss takes San Diego out of field goal range, and Flutie now. Good protection, throws down the middle, intercepted. Flag is down as the pick made by Bobby Taylor, and if it counts, it's his first of the year.
Well, the flags are in the backfield of the Chargers, and it's almost certainly going to go against San Diego.
Holding against San Diego, and of course the Eagles will accept the interception by Taylor.
70 offense. Penalty is declined. First down, Philadelphia.
Well, Bobby Taylor, the cornerback, is going to play perfect underneath coverage. Number 21 right there in the middle of your screen, sitting back in his zone, but he's inside of Tim Dwight and able to just sit and look at Doug Flutie. And for some reason, Flutie missed him, and that's hard to do. Bobby Taylor at 6'3", not an easy cornerback to lose in the secondary. He's a big man.
Former Notre Dame star, and they feel, despite the fact that was his first interception, that he's playing pro ball caliber. To the 30-yard line goes Staley. Short yardage, Mike Mooring and others with a tackle. For the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and live scoreboards, go to cbs.sportsline.com or America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. And Flutie, first 7 games when they went 5-2, threw only 3 interceptions, and In the last 5 games plus this one, 9 picks. Tony Stewart, the tight end, in motion, and they throw towards Stewart, incomplete. Too tall on the throw from Donovan McNabb. Dixon putting on the pressure. Let's go for an update to New York.
All right, this one out of Foxborough. Cleveland and New England tied at 3 when Brady is picked off here. Corey Fuller, the former Viking, will return it 49 yards for the touchdown and the 10-3 Cleveland lead. Let's go back to Dick and Dan.
All right, thanks, Jim. And boy, the Brown defense, they're young, but they are really a bunch of thefts in that deep secondary. 3rd down 8. 5 defensive backs. McNabb throws incomplete. He had to get rid of it as the Chargers came with a corner blitz. Davis Sanchez, and the Eagles will have to punt it. On comes Sean Landeta. Landeta and Flutie can commiserate on experiences no one else in the NFL have. They are graduates of the U.S. FL.
They go way back.
The Generals and the Stars. Landeta for the Philadelphia Baltimore Stars, and Flutie played with the New Jersey Generals.
And Landeta about 3 weeks away from turning 40.
Sends an awkward-looking spiral to Dwight. Fields at the 28 and takes it to the 38-yard line, and that's where the Chargers will put it in play. 42-yard punt, 11-yard return, and a reminder, Tuesday on CBS, he's a hotshot lawyer with a lot of ambition and a responsibility to the disadvantage. Now he's getting something he never had, competition. Don't miss an all-new episode of the season's highest-rated new drama, The Guardian, Tuesday on CBS. And a reminder, big CBS doubleheader day. The Jets, Pittsburgh, or Kansas City at Oakland in the second half of our doubleheader. First down, Flutie and the Chargers trailing by 7. It's to Tomlinson, breaks 1 tackle. A lot of work just to get back to the line of scrimmage where the Eagles are waiting for him. Bonnie, what do you have for us?
Well, Dick, Andy Reid was telling us he really thought Bobby Taylor was one of the more unsung players on the Eagles defense. He said everybody thought he wasn't getting his job done because he didn't have any interceptions, but he's so much more a part of the defense. He's like, he makes huge plays on 3rd down, and when we put him in a nickel, he always has the ability to take the receiver away.
Recruited to play basketball out of high school by the University of Michigan. Went to Notre Dame and started in football. Flutie scrambles, throws to the sideline. Conway, was he inbounds? Yes, they call it a catch at the 44. It'll be 3 yards short of a first down.
I know Troy Vincent is saying, man, this is an active first quarter I'm having here. Again, he's involved over on the sideline as they're working his side of the field. Good body position by Curtis Conway, though, maintaining his position right on the sideline, getting his feet in there. And Troy Vincent's going to need a hot shower. Take a look at Curtis Conway and the year that he's having. Much appreciated in this San Diego passing game.
3rd down and a long 2. Flutie throws it ahead to man, wide open, but the wind catches it, and it's too short for Freddie Jones, the tight end. He was 8 yards in the clear, but Flutie on the run couldn't get the ball to him.
Unless your name is Elway, who wore that number proudly, running like that and then floating it back to the middle of the field, more often than not, results in disaster. And this ball is second it leaves Doug Flutie's hand, has disaster written all over it.
Bennett hits the ball and may have been hit by an eagle coming in on him as the ball dies down at the 22-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, there is a flag back at the 37-yard line.
N.D. Kalu was in on the punter Bennett.
Well, it's the preliminary indication from Bernie Kukar was a hold against San Diego. And now the discussion will be whether to make him kick again.
The up back Rogers Beckett may have been guilty.
42 of the kicking team. It's a 10-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Let's try that one more time.
So Beckett ticketed for the call, and that'll give Brian Mitchell more room in which to operate.
And you also have a group of guys who have to cover a punt again after having just sprinted 40 yards downfield. So you're always a wise move to make a punt team kick again, or to make a kickoff coverage unit do it again.
Mitchell, a sensational kick returner with 12 touchdowns in his career, and Bennett's punt goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So the Eagles gain about 10 yards on the second punt. On comes Donovan McNabb.
Looks like we might have to get the hose to separate those two.
Arizona and Michigan State. That'll be a terrific early season basketball encounter up in East Lansing. Arizona is certainly one of the big surprises of the young season. Donovan McNabb at Syracuse. And look at this, number 24 McNabb in your program. An outstanding athlete, as we have seen, but some may have forgotten that he was very successful as a reserve for Jim Boeheim's Orangemen.
Well, that's the only sport where Donovan McNabb comes off the bench. In this sport here with shoulder pads and helmets, his bench days are way in the past, as this guy just continues to evolve into not just a good quarterback, but he is the leader of this football team as well. You can see 41 total points at Syracuse. I don't think that, well, more than I had in college, but not very many.
Staley looking for blocks and able to move forward to a first down at the 48-yard line. Probably the last play of a busy opening quarter. And there it is, the end of the first quarter with the score. The Eagles 14, the Chargers 7. We'll return to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia right after this message.
You have one new message.
John, it's Bob. I tried tracking you down everywhere, so I'm leaving this on your cell phone. Look, about your merger meeting this morning, whatever you do, avoid the boardroom. I was talking to maintenance, and they just lacquered the table, and it needs 24 hours to dry. Man, I hope you get this.
With ordinary cell phones, you leave messages, but with Nextel Direct Connect, the digital two-way radio, you get right through.
Rolaids announces unbeatable taste. 5 great ways to spell fast relief. And now taste tests show even Tums can't beat Rolaids. In mint or fruit flavors, what a great tasting way to spell relief. Rolaids.
Buy an Olympus D510 or C700 and you get the most realistic digital images yet. And now you can store up to 600 of them free. Get an Olympus Smart Media Card free when you buy either camera. Go to freecard.olympus.com for details. Nothing's impossible. Olympus.
Now, exclusively from the NFL Shop, you can customize your very own official NFL replica jersey. Pick a team, choose a number, use your name or your favorite player. It's up to you. NFL Shop will make one in any style you want, just $64.99. So call now and order for yourself or a friend. Get the gear, get in the game, exclusively from NFL Shop. Call 1-877-NFL-SHOP now or visit us at NFL Shop on NFL.com.
On Survivor Africa, the big animals have always been a threat. But this Thursday, it's the smallest creatures who make the biggest buzz. And the only way to get a break from the suffering is to team up for a challenge and win candy, hot dogs,
yummy,
and a surprise movie. All new Survivor, CBS Thursday.
And welcome back to the Vet in Philadelphia, where the Eagles, looking for a win that would take them to 8-4, protecting a 2-game lead in the NFC East. And as you can see, a good omen. They're leading after a quarter 14-7, and they're 12-1 with a first quarter lead in the last 13 games. McNabb in the crowd, and that was Junior Seau reaching in front of the intended receiver, Deuce Staley. Seau having another typical Pro Bowl year. He certainly is the spirit, along with Rodney Harrison, of this Charger defense.
Well, what a record. 10 consecutive trips to Honolulu in the Pro Bowl in his 12 years out of Southern Cal, and just epitomizes what the modern linebacking position is all about.
Well, those numbers don't tell the whole story of Junior Seau.
No, they don't.
Here he comes, and Staley is going to break the tackle and actually gain 2 when the Chargers had him for a 2-yard loss. John Perella was there to hit him first, but he was able to slip away. Can't believe it, says John.
Of course, Big John, just another one of the outstanding players to come out of the Nebraska football program. And, you know, this is a real aggressive offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles. Every guy on this line has been fine for the league. And John Perella says, hey, you know something? I appreciate guys like that. If I was an offensive lineman, that's exactly the way I'd play.
I'd be nasty, too. McNabb steps up away from pressure. These are the legs they talk about now. He throws it to the sideline. Knocked away by Beckett at the last minute. Intended for Cecil Martin, the fullback.
Oh, that was excellent work by Beckett. When you've got to guard a guy, when you've got to cover a guy for as long as you have to, because McNabb buys all this extra time. This is an eternity when you're in the defensive secondary trying to run with somebody. As Donovan buys all those extra seconds, gets away from Wiley, gets away from Carson, and Beckett maintains coverage on Martin the entire time. That's just excellent work.
And 3-time Pro Bowler Sean Landeta. The veteran hits a low kick. Fielded by Dwight.
Look at that speed.
Boy, does he have quick acceleration. That's why the Chargers wanted him as a part of that Michael Vick trade during the draft period this spring.
Tomorrow's the big event. Are we there?
The work is there.
Excellent.
But it's not here.
Not here?
Not here. We have a glitch.
A glitch?
A glitch. New York's files are garbled. The servers in London are down, and everything from Asia has just plain vanished.
Vanished?
Vanished. You know, a glitch.
So no pitch. Well, what do we do tomorrow?
Discuss our global capabilities.
And that's when it hits you. You are so ready for IBM.
Smirnoff Ice Premium Malt Beverage, reminding you that whatever it takes, never drink and drive.
Wednesday on 60 Minutes 2, what do Paul Newman and Robert Redford have in common besides Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? They're both on 60 Minutes 2, Wednesday at 8, 7 Central.
You already know CSI is a smash hit. This Thursday, it will become a phenomenon.
You're not going to believe this.
How do you solve a murder?
We need the body.
When the only proof left is in the victim's donated organs.
This is my kidney now.
This is the episode you can't miss. All CSI at a special time, 10, 9 Central, CBS Thursday.
Nick Fallon has the ambition for corporate law.
Business comes first.
A responsibility to the disadvantaged.
It would be my pleasure to be there for you.
Now he's getting some